For this week's video, we're going to take a little bit of a departure from the guitar rebuilding, and we're going to talk about my second love in life, minus guitars, coffee. I was about to say beer. We've all been there. You wake up, it's bright and early, you're getting ready to make your favorite cup of coffee. You go over to the Mr. Coffee or whatever machine you have, you go to turn it on, nothing. If you're watching this video, you're probably in the market for a new coffee machine. I've always bought the cheap coffee makers. I'm talking like the $15.99 special you get at Target or Walmart. I've always bought those, and they've always been pretty decent. I usually get a year and a half, 2 years out of them. However, this year, I'm thinking, I make coffee about 5 times a week. So for this time, I went ahead, picked up this guy. It's a Bodum coffee machine. Ran me 99 bucks plus tax. Mr. Coffee versus Mr. Bodum. $100 coffee machine versus a $15 coffee machine. Some things I'm looking for. Aroma. Come on, it's half the fun of drinking coffee. Taste. That's a given. Now the taste is gonna be subjective, I get it. I'll try and speak to why I like or why I might dislike one cup versus the other. And the third thing I'm looking for is longevity. I like to make a pot of coffee and kind of sip at it throughout the day. So I want to do a taste test. And then I want to also wait an hour and see how it tastes after an hour. It's a really simple design. What I like about it, you literally have one on-off button, and that's it. I'm kind of surprised for a $100 coffee maker they didn't add a programmable option. But for me, I never use it often. I'm actually kind of happy with that. So when you pull out your carafe, this will turn off the machine no matter what. Now, here's one design flaw I hate with this. I typically don't wait for a full pot to be brewed. I'll usually let it get halfway, pull it out, pour myself a cup, then put it back in and let it rebrew. Now, if you don't perfectly line this up, say you come in at an angle, you will get some coffee kind of splashing over the side. Kind of annoying, but really, you make that mistake once and you typically don't do it again. However, in the mornings when you are making coffee, it is something you need to be aware of. This is pretty smooth. I love it. Pulls out nice and easy. Comes with this reusable coffee filter, so that's a great design. As you can see here, you have your water reservoir. Easy to use. This does lift up as well. So you can basically pull it out like a handle. Boom, fill it up with some water. Bring it back on in. Yeah, baby. So your traditional Mr. Coffee. I'm sure all of us have owned this at least once in our life. Not much to say here. A little bit of a pro tip when you get a new coffee maker. Go ahead, throw some water in it, and just basically brew in, I don't want to say an empty pot, but a coffeeless pot. This is a good way to kind of get rid of that plasticky taste you might have from it. I already did it with the Bodum, and now I'm doing it right now with the Mr. Coffee. I'm gonna let this kind of brew through. I'll dump it out and get ready for the taste off. So, both coffee makers brewed their pots of coffee, and I was surprised to see that the Bodum brewed significantly faster than the Mr. Coffee. The Bodum was done probably about 3 minutes faster. Also, in terms of noisiness, you could barely hear the Bodum, whereas the Mr. Coffee kind of sounded like a rock concert going on in your kitchen. But let's cut right to it, man. We have the Bodum. Pour a little bit on out. And the Mr. Coffee. I'm excited about this. Let's start with the Mr. Coffee. Smells like a breakfast blend. Smells just fine. Really tastes pretty good. I mean, no complaints. I give it a thumbs up. All right. I need a palate cleanser. Palate has been cleansed. Same smell. Not gonna lie to you. Okay, like on a 1 out of 100 scale, I'd probably give the Mr. Coffee an 80. I'd probably give this an 85. It's just a little smoother. Not as hot, too. Kind of interesting. Still toasty. It's still coffee. You know, I thought about doing this test blindfolded. I don't think I'd really know the difference. I'm gonna say really it's a draw, to be completely honest with you. However, again, like I mentioned earlier, the Bodum did brew much faster and it was really quiet. So if time is of the essence and you don't want a noisy coffee maker, the Bodum gets a point there. In terms of aroma and flavor, I gotta be completely honest, I'm gonna say it's a draw. So your $15 coffee maker versus your $100 coffee maker, solid draw. Now where I think the Bodum is gonna really take off is when we do this taste challenge in an hour from now. So I'm gonna finish up this coffee, throw them back in their respective homes. See you in an hour. It's been an hour. Oops. Let's do this. The Bodum, the Mr. Coffee. Yeah, it's hot. A little bit on the burnt side. Not the end of the world. Back to Mr. Bodum. Smooth. I called it. Listen, if you're that type of person that likes to brew a cup of coffee, brew a pot of coffee, excuse me, and kind of nip at it throughout the day, I think this is where paying that $100 price tag, or honestly, in my opinion, getting a coffee maker with a really nice thermal carafe is gonna be massive. Something like this that basically just keeps burning itself is not gonna be as desirable. Now, again, if you want your coffee piping hot, so to conclude, I think I said that right. So to conclude, if you're on a budget, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the good old-fashioned Mr. Coffee. It does the job, keeps your coffee nice and hot, even though after time it starts to burn it a little bit. Now, of course, I could just finish a small pot and rebrew another one, which would kind of cut back on that burnt taste, but now I'm wasting time constantly cleaning, refilling a coffee machine. Whereas with the Bodum, set it, forget it, and it's still really warm after an hour. So if you're on a budget, the Mr. Coffee is great. If you don't necessarily want to spend $100 plus, consider upgrading your coffee machine to something with more of a thermal carafe like this, so it's not constantly burning it. I think that's the best of both worlds. So I do want to address a few things. I get it. There are a ton of coffee makers out there. At least a couple dozen. They range as cheap as a couple dollars and go up to a couple thousand. Really what I'm focusing on for this video is kind of your entry level in terms of what you'd find at like a Walmart or a Target, hence the Mr. Coffee. And to be completely blunt with you, I only have so much expendable income to buy so many coffee makers. So I would love to pass the baton to anybody else out there if they want to compare, say, your $200 coffee makers versus your $400 or $500 coffee makers. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Again, I've spent $200 on coffee makers and drank a lot of coffee, so it'd be nice to know that somebody watches these. Now, if you want to see more videos, more of my videos, first off, I really don't do videos like this. This was just kind of a personal project for myself, but if you like guitars, if you like beer, if you like scary movies, subscribe and continue watching. Thank you very much. It's been awesome. See you next week. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. My channel does have... Okay, delete this video.